escalated into a physical fight, we're told racial and cultural differences among those students caused the altercation. Now, 12 students were directly involved in the fight, but the situation was made more chaotic because of the 100 to 200 onlookers. Now, despite some rumors, CCSD police say no weapons were used during the fight and no one was significantly injured. School police say they actually had to use pepper spray to calm things down, and we're told around 45 to 50 students were pepper sprayed, and they were decontaminated at the school by medical personnel. We spoke to one student who was affected by the pepper spray, as well as her mother, about what happened.
Nobody really knew what was happening when they were in the lunchroom, in the lunch lines, until everybody felt the pepper spray and started coughing. So everybody ran out, and a couple people passed out because it was so much.
I think they could have used something a little bit more safer, because now you got students that are, you know, like one of her friends who was throwing up.
Now, police would not go into more details about the racial differences that led up to the fight. They say they're working with other law enforcement agencies and community groups to address it, but they tell us the real change starts at home.
And we hope that all the parents and students can all sit down and talk to each other about those differences, about tolerance, about having a neutral site of learning.
CCSD police say they have arrested 4 students, all juveniles, in connection to the fight, and they're working on finishing up some other citations as well. And school police do add that they've noticed more incidents here at Western High School, and they're working on putting a plan in place to address the issue. Reporting live, Orko Manna, 8 News Now.
Metro Police say a limousine crash that shut down part of Flamingo Road this morning was caused by one of its own officers. The department says the limo struck its cruiser as the officer was just trying to make an illegal U-turn not too far from Flamingo and the I-15. Now, both of the vehicles then hit a concrete barrier, causing that limo to burst into flames. The officer was able to pull that limo driver out to safety, though, both taken to the hospital. They're expected to be okay. Metro telling us this was the 46th crash in their jurisdiction involving a limo this year. Last year, there were 50 similar crashes. Meantime, in upstate New York, investigators are still looking into Saturday's limousine crash that left 20 people dead. 28-year-old Namin Hussein operates that limousine company. He is out on bail today after pleading not guilty to a count of criminal negligent homicide.
The sole responsibility for that motor vehicle being on the road on Saturday rests with Namin Hussein.
New York State Police say the 2001 Ford Excursion limo violated several safety standards and should not have even been on the road. On September 4th, a federal agency flagged problems with the vehicle's brakes. And then this year, 4 of Prestige limo vehicles were cited for more than 20 maintenance violations. Hussein's attorney insists his client is innocent and says he is shaken by what happened to all of those victims.
A 60-year-old woman is dead after being struck by an SUV while crossing the street with her husband. Happened this morning. The collision occurred about 9:30 a.m. near St. Louis Avenue and South 6th Street. Metro Police saying the black Dodge Durango that hit her fled from the scene. They're now in the hunt for that driver. If you know anything that can help, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. That's 702-385-5555.
And we have an update tonight on a missing person case that we've been following for a while. The search for 85-year-old Jo Helen James is now over. Her daughter telling us a funeral home contacted her yesterday saying they were in possession of her mother's body. Now, according to the business, she had died at a hospital 5 days before she was even reported missing. And as of now, her cause of death is still unknown.
Valley advocates held a ceremony today to raise domestic violence awareness. Every single year, Metro Police and the Community Coalition for Victims' Rights honor those who have lost their lives and encourage everyone to speak up to save a life. 8 News Now reporter Sasha Loftus joins us live in the 8 News Now newsroom with more on today's message.
Brian, last year, over 47,000 people across our state were victims of domestic violence. Community leaders say they're fighting every day to break the cycle here in Las Vegas. Today, they remembered the lives of 25 people coming from all across our valley. They were anywhere from a year old to 82 when they died in domestic violence situations. Organizers hope these tragedies will serve as a reminder for everyone to work together and support anyone in trouble. The biggest problem? Most of these incidents are never reported. They hope events like these encourage people to stand up and say something.
People need to understand that there are a plethora of resources available, and people need to come forward. There needs not be any fear, and everyone really needs to take a stand against domestic violence. That one phone call from a neighbor could be the difference. It saves somebody's life.
Now, they also emphasize how neighbors and friends can help. If you suspect something, report it to police. If you are a victim of domestic violence, you have plenty of resources available to you. You can call or come to the Family Justice Center. We will have their phone number and a link to more information on our website, LasVegasNow.com. Back to you.
At least 6 people were killed by Hurricane Michael, 2 by falling trees across 3 states as the storm works its way through the southeastern United States.
Now, yesterday, that storm slammed into the Florida Panhandle as a Category 4 hurricane, leaving behind widespread damage.
Undescribable. Hail. You look out the windows and you got pieces from people's houses flying by. You got trees flying by.
Now, Michael barreled ashore on the Florida Panhandle yesterday as one of the most powerful storms ever to make landfall in the U.S. mainland. That storm surge reached 10 feet in some areas. Winds topped out at 155 miles per hour, just shy of a Category 5 hurricane. Now, it's since been downgraded to a tropical storm. Estimates put the initial cost of, look at all that damage, at over $10 billion.
That drone video of the school, it's hard to wrap your brain around the devastation.
Yeah, crazy. Well, meantime, back here at home, very quiet, but we've got some pretty unseasonably cool temperatures.
Chief Meteorologist Ted Florendo is live in studio with a first glance at your forecast.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Yeah, I can't complain about the weather here, right? 76 degrees outside right now. That is cooler than normal. We have a bit of a breeze outside and clouds all over the valley. However, the showers not quite in the valley. That's around us, mainly into Arizona yet again. Flash flood warning down in Willow Beach. Some showers just south of Boulder City. That means Boulder City, you will get some of those raindrops here within the next hour. So for the forecast for tonight, we're not taking out any chances for an isolated stray shower for this evening. Temperatures will be in the 70s, mostly cloudy skies, and then clouds will be clearing later on tonight. Back to sunshine by tomorrow morning. We're also tracking the latest from Tropical Storm Michael. It is still a powerful tropical system. More details on Michael and more coming out. Brian, Denise.
Ted, thank you. A jewel of a ballpark is quickly coming to life in Summerlin.
Yeah, the future home of Las Vegas baseball is being built one beam at a time. John Treach has the story, standing in stadium progress.
They have raised the beams and raised the stadium standards. In 180 days, the Las Vegas ballpark will be the envy of the rest of the country.
There's no turning back now, and it's very, very rewarding.
It is a celebration of achievement, a ceremonial topping out. But really, it's just a bold beginning.
You know, when you drive by, you get a sense of the stadium going up. But when you can walk in from center field and get the grandeur that the stadium allows to unfold, you can see that this is going to be a world-class ballpark.
Plenty of deals died along the way. It took a rivalry as old as North versus South to inspire change.
They were like, well, how can Reno have that ballpark with those amenities, and how can we not have that in Vegas? And Cashman was great. It was the state-of-the-art facility back in 1983 when it opened. Things changed.
Once just a trip away from the Strip, Summerlin is starting to build a new reputation.
And, you see the Golden Knights next door, you combine that with this new beautiful stadium, and this starts to become a sports hub on the west side of the valley.
Beneath the cranes of construction creativity is a signature project for an ambitious diamond, an anxious deadline.
It's fast track, and you can't miss opening day, so we don't have any leeway.
April 9th, 2019, America's pastime returns in the ballpark of the future. John Treach, 8 Sports Now.
Thanks, John. Coming up next on 8 News Now, it has been 1 year since a Pentagon intelligence officer brought to light a secret military study by UFOs.
We're going to have an update on where the program stands today and its special connection to the Nevada desert.
And later, the holidays are coming quickly. Retailers need your help. Ada is on your side with where you can score some extra work over the holidays. Ted?
Scattered clouds taking over the skies. What are our chances for any more showers? And chilly weather coming. Stick around.
NV Energy.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Brian Loftus, Denise Valdez, and Ted Florendo. This is 8 News Now at 5.
The Pentagon announced today that it is temporarily grounding all F-35 fighter jets after a September 28th crash that happened in South Carolina. The Defense Department wants each of its 245 F-35s inspected for a potentially faulty fuel tube. Inspections are expected to last the next 2 days. The jets that do pass inspection will be returned to flight status. The first combat-configured F-35 was stationed at Nellis Air Force Base.
A year ago today, a Pentagon intelligence officer stepped forward to announce that he had been in charge of a secret military study of UFOs. Well, that statement set off a chain reaction that is still unfolding, and several of the story angles led right here to Nevada. George Knapp is here with a look back at how that story unfolded in the past 12 months. George?
You know, Denise, the UFO world tends to want it all and want it now, so no matter what Lou Elizondo and his colleagues have said or done since then wouldn't be enough for the die-hard saucer people, but some pretty remarkable things have been made public in the year since the announcement made a year ago today. The event was organized by rock star Tom DeLonge on a stage in Seattle. With DeLonge was a group of people with extensive military and intelligence backgrounds. They came forward to announce a new initiative to push for an end to UFO secrecy. It's called the To the Stars Academy. The event didn't generate a lot of news coverage that day, but that changed once it sunk in that just retired Pentagon intelligence officer Lou Elizondo was admitting what many had long suspected, mainly that the U.S. government has secretly been studying UFO incidents all along, collecting videos, testimony, and other evidence.
For nearly the last decade, I ran a sensitive aerospace threat identification program focusing on unidentified aerial technologies. It was in this position I learned that the phenomena is indeed real.
Elizondo and his To the Stars colleagues subsequently arranged for the release of previously unknown Pentagon videos showing encounters between U.S. military pilots and mysterious, highly advanced craft. An explosion of worldwide media coverage followed a front-page story in the New York Times. In addition to ATEP, that's the program Elizondo headed, another program sponsored by Nevada Senator Harry Reid and based here in Las Vegas was also made public. The I-Team interviewed Reid and others and released multiple documents related to the secret studies, and we've learned there have been closed-door briefings for congressional staff. So what comes next? Well, one of the goals announced a year ago was the collection and analysis of anomalous materials, that is, bits and pieces of metals or so-called metamaterials, scraps that may have been stashed away for decades. They're now undergoing the most advanced analysis possible. We've already heard hints that some of these materials appear to be beyond anything known to modern engineering. A formal announcement about those findings is expected after the first of the year. If you'd like to look back on the story we aired last year, we have it on our website, along with all the I-Team reports on this subject from the past 12 months. And as you'll see, it's quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, There is such a hunger on this topic, so George is on it. Thanks for that update tonight.
I love